Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete, brand new job site. This was all previously set up. Kenny set this one up, and Berrigan Block, he is the guy that did all the block work here. You can see the property line wall that he continued out over here on the right. Also on the other side of the house, did the same thing. So we have concrete on both sides of the house. The other side, it's a small walkway. On this side, it's the RV parking area extending to the street. All right, here's the other side yard. I'm using the 4-foot Milwaukee red stick to screed this off with. We have a red chalk line on the block wall that we're gonna follow on the one side and then just come off the form. Plenty of slope going down the side yard there. Here's some felt, and this is a monolithic pour with the sidewalk and the driveway. So we have a felt expansion. That separation is between the the city property, or there's a easement way there, you could say, that they like felt at that point. I think it's about 10 feet back, something like that. Now, we initially started to screed this off straight, but then we noticed that this driveway right here under the gate has a swell in it. So we're going to kind of wet screed down the middle and check our level, make sure we're coming down that valley with some slope. And then we're going to have to rod off either side of that wetty down the middle. So we just pulled the wetty down the middle with slope. Now we're going to clean up the sides. This is a 3000 PSI with fiber mesh. We're running at a solid 4 inches deep. So I think once we get to the front of the garage, we can start straight screeding across again, rather than continuing the valley. We just have to get it down here a little ways. Then the screeding becomes a lot easier. We don't have to mess with the flow line. Same thing here. You notice there's no plastic on the brand new block wall. The only reason we can do that and get away with it is because we're not tailgating it and we're not wheelbarrowing it. This is a pump job, so you don't get the splatter, you don't get the mess, so you don't need all the plastic. Now we just cut it off here just to catch up, get it laid down behind us before we get any further ahead. 5-foot fiberglass bowl float. And the way he did that with the bowl float is he didn't run it right down the middle of the job where the flow line is. He worked both sides of it. Otherwise you would cross bowl float it, but we didn't have the access. Cross bowl floating is the best if you have access when you're dealing with a valley like this. So we had a temporary 2x4 in holding that felt straight toward the concrete on one side. Then as we pour back side of the 2x4, the concrete we push underneath the 2x4 as we raise it up, and that holds the felt in place. It stayed nice and straight. This was a full 10-yard job and we had enough. So all those boxes, the utility boxes that you've seen down there at the end right of the driveway, those were all made so that they fit the slope of the new driveway. They all had to be adjusted. Now here I am with the little 3-foot Fresno, and I've got it tilted just right so I can get it over this 4-foot block wall and lay it down real nice against the block. That way it's flat and it's a lot less work when we get out there on the sliders. Because we don't have full access on both sides of everything, we're going to have to get out here on sliders and something like this, but we want to make it as easy as possible until we get to that point. So this is why we're going to Fresno it, get it clean along all the edges against the wall. wherever we can run this. In this case, I just turned the Fresno on an angle, and then I just walked it right down the side. We will be cutting joints in this. We're going to be using the Arizona joiner, which is a nice wide joint, very forgiving. It's easy to maintain, keeping it straight, and you don't necessarily have to get out there with hand joiners all the time, because the walking joiner and that particular joiner is a very forgiving joiner. There's your 5-foot cutter. So you know you get a straight line when you're working with a 4-foot walkway and a 5-foot cutter. And after you cut, we let it set just a little bit till it stiffens up, and then we just have to put the joiner in the crack and chase it through. Here's the funny trowel going on. So everything we do with the pull tools is going to make it much easier when we get out on sliders. So if we get this thing right, we get it laid down really well with all of our pull tools, we should only have to hit this one time off the sliders. Here's a joint coming down the middle. We're just continuing the existing joint. This is a tough maneuver, joining over the wall. Two funny trowels going right now. Here's your walking edger. Just getting some detail around all those concrete vaults. All right, Doug's getting out there on the knee boards on this side. I'm on the other side laying that down. Now I finished the other side and I'm jumping over onto this side, catch the bottom half of this driveway. All right, Kenny's on the broom now, and he's brewing the same direction as the entire driveway, the existing driveway. That's going to be a continuation until you get to that joint at the front of the the front of the garage. Once we get to that joint brooming this direction, then he can turn it the other way and cross broom it, and then this entire side here will be cross broomed. So the whole front of the house is broomed cross, and then the back areas on the sides of the houses will be lengthwise. See how the broom is overlapped on the joint going down? That's not a big deal, because once he cross brooms right in line with that joint, it'll take those out. And there it is. There's the stroke that makes it all happen. Cleans up that transition. We will be spraying some curing compound on here as well. And it's always a good idea to use that. It just helps the concrete cure better, so you end up with a stronger product. And you have less chances of getting shrinkage cracks. Here's the compound going on. We didn't have a whole lot. I think we had, for this job, we had about 3/4 of a gallon. So I added about a half gallon to that, maybe a little less, and stretched it out, but it's still gonna work. Anyway, that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching this video. It turned out magnificent. Everybody was extremely happy with the outcome here.
Not real.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. That way you'll be notified on my next upload. Have a good one. Bye.
Odell. Complete. Concrete. Odell.